Welcome back, Cookies. This is Fashion Friday. We do fashion on Fridays. All right, how does this look? Y'all like my little setup? Okay, listen. Hello, welcome back. My name is Carolyn Gray. And if you're new around here, listen, I like to do fashion videos once a week, and I also do vlogs. I'm working on my new introduction. And the last one, it was just getting old. You know, we've had it for over a year, and I just wanted something a little bit more zesty. So don't mind me working on it. Glad you're here. So yeah, on Fashion Fridays, we talk about styling. We talk about the news of fashion. Just a well-rounded situation. Okay, you never know what you're going to get necessarily on a Fashion Friday, but you know you're going to get fashion. And then on Tuesdays, I do vlogs. I take you around the city or wherever I'm going and show you a glimpse into my life. It's about 20% of all the things, but still a glimpse. Now we're here. Let's talk about Fashion Week. New York Fashion Week is just around the corner. And this is actually my third or fourth year as a full-time content creator going into this season. And this is actually one of those times where I'm like, you know what? I'm taking a step back. I'm actually taking a step back. I am not going to be stressed out about New York Fashion Week this season for two reasons. Number one, and the most important reason, I am actually a principal consultant for a program called Kinspire, powered by A Second Chance and Think of Us, which are child welfare organizations. And they have cultivated this program where we will be bringing in youth from Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, as well as one from Washington State, and bringing them into New York to experience Fashion Week, but in a different way. Like we have museum tour visits, panels. We're going to actually have them behind the scenes working, getting experience at a show, right? So it's a different experience this time. And I think I just want my focus to be on creating a memorable, life-changing week for them. And I'm excited because these kids are from backgrounds where they have experience in foster care or in kinship care, where they're not raised by their biological parents, but maybe some relatives, right? And I think that I'm just so fixated on ensuring that they get the most out of this, because I know what it meant for me to have organizations like Black Retail Action Group, which works through high schools like Fashion High School or Fashion Institute of Technology, where I actually attended and got my degree for merchandising management from. And I was awarded scholarships and internships and just mentorship through that program. So knowing that I experienced something like this, I know that these kids, they deserve the world. So my focus will be all of that. There are going to be some things that I attend this New York Fashion Week. Sure, that's fine, as long as it works around my schedule with the children. But my other reason too, and I'm glad that I'm focusing on that, because honestly, I don't really feel like dealing with the whole running around of New York Fashion Week. It's a lot of anxiety. It's a lot of intensity. And also as a Black female content creator, there's a lot of rejection involved, or feeling like you're not cool enough, or feeling like you're just not enough, right? But the other flip side of that coin, because I like to be very honest and well-rounded about these things. The reality is I have had an experience with New York Fashion Week prior to the vlogging sensation, where vloggers and content creators and celebrities are front row now. I was around prior to all that, when there was in hubs like at Lincoln Center, Bryant Park, Milk Studios. I was on the production teams. I was in the shows. I was watching the shows. I was helping the shows. So it's like I have seen every part of it. But as a content creator, I do want to be a part of it in a different way, where I can show my audience, my tribe, what it looks like and the experience, so they actually feel like they're rooted in it. But the reality is, when it comes to putting on these shows, a lot of money and investment is involved. And I want to point out the fact I did see a conversation that Willie Chaveria, a New York-based designer but shows in Paris, had a conversation with Complex Magazine. And basically they talked about how much does it cost to put on a show at Paris Fashion Week.
Paris, if you do it on the cheap, it's like $1 million. And you got to figure out how to come up with that $1 million.
And it's essentially just a branding exercise, no?
It's marketing. That's all it is. You know, a lot of times people are like, oh, I got to come to your show, you know, let me come to your show. But you got to realize, like, each seat has a value of sometimes like $15,000. Whoever sits in that seat, they've got to do something to propel your brand forward financially. And that is the stuff that is so unromantic and so unenjoyable to even think about. It's the worst part of it for me.
Shop.
He said on the cheap, $1 million, at least. Okay. And he said, what sucks about Fashion Week is that I love to include everybody and I love to put on a show, and every show has a meaning and a messaging behind it. But he was like, the sucky part is, you know, people want to come to my show and not everybody can be there. Right. And he said, if you really want to put a number on it, $15,000 for a seat. If I'm investing in you to sit in the seat, are you going to be able to bring my brand that amount of money back, or in some way, right? Are you buying into my brand from a store that you work with as a buyer? Are you able to market my brand and give it visibility and create transactions off of it, right? So I was like, you know, I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that, because so many brands have shut down and struggled and shut down because of the fact that they need money behind the brand to stay afloat, right? So when I thought about it, I said, you know what? I'm a chill on wanting to be at New York Fashion Week in the way that I'm dreaming of, right? I'm a chill on that. I'm going to give space and respect to it, and I'm going to work on my platform. And when it comes time, when I get more and more invites and it feels like I'm actually giving back to the brands that are inviting me into their spaces in the way that they would want, let's do it then. Let's dance when that ballet is up, right? But I think that I'm good on the running around. I'm good on my feet hurting. I'm good on feeling like, where's everybody going to be at? You know, I'm good on that. Obviously, yes, there's going to be things that I attend as long as it works around the schedule. And even last Fashion Week in February, I attended a lot of things off the strength of my platform, off the strength of my connections. And one of the things that I got to really enjoy was working with Who What Wear UK and doing like a Instagram takeover one of those days. And that was through a PR company that I worked with. My old agency and I hired and paid this PR company to get me more access to different things. To different things. And that, and like, I think Love Shack Fancy was something that they put me on the radar for. But I wanted to do a video today. Sorry for the full spiel, but I just wanted to give you some background, okay? I want to do a video where I show you what I would wear if I were going to some of these shows. I thought it would be fun. I've seen other creators do it where they're like, what I would wear front row at Dior kind of thing. And I do believe that those creators are doing it for, visibility from those brands. I don't care. I don't have time to go to these shows. Only two of the group, I probably will be attending, but just saying, I don't have time. This is not for visibility. This is for fun. And if you love it, let me know if you want me to do it for other location fashion weeks like Milan or London, Paris, and what you would want me to show you what I would wear to those shows. But I want to do listen, there's 108 shows during this New York Fashion Week, okay? On the CFDA calendar, there are 108 shows. We're going to cover like 5, okay? 5 of the ones that I would like. I love their product. I wear their product. I enjoy their aesthetic and their growth and what I would wear at those shows. So let's get into the mix. Thank you for listening this long. And the first brand I want to style for is Tory Burch. Let's get into it. Let's get into this look. Okay. So this is what I envision myself wearing at a show like Tory Burch. Now, first of all, I have been really loving Tory Burch the past few seasons. I think ever since like she relinquished certain roles in at Tory Burch, where she's just now focusing on creative direction, we are seeing exactly where Tori's mind is, and it's a beautiful world. It really is. I've been really enjoying it, loving the footwear, loving the handbags. I listen. Some of her ready to wear is. It's like $2,000 for a skirt that I'm in love with. And I'm just like, girl, but okay, whatever, that's your jam. That's your jam. But this is something that I would totally wear. I don't have any Tory Burch ready to wear, but let's get into the pieces. So starting off, I have on these Loewe frames, gold rim. Love these. I've had these for a couple of years. We have their this is their Lee Radswell, Tory Burch bag. Love it. I think it's great for like an event, like a fashion show. My top is from a brand that is no longer, I think they might make a revival. I don't know. French brand called Lowell. They shut down during lockdown, but I love it. This is like an amazing, it's almost like homeware material. This like you would use this to make a couch, and I love stuff like that. Okay. And then my pants are actually thrifted helmet laying. I just love the fact that it's a slim pant, really nice aesthetic. I figured, if I have such a billowy top like this, don't focus on the bra. I know my bra is like popping out. I will wear a neutral color bra, but the top is so billowy. If I wore a wide leg, it would be a bit too much. And then I have on the multi-strap shoes from Tory Burch. Now these came in black, a white ostrich, and then the yellow. Love this shoe. One of the most comfortable little pumps I got. But I just think that it's so interesting. And that's the thing about Tory, these days it's like she has really interesting pieces, and the approach to her design is it's amazing. So I also feel like the last few collections had some neutral tones, some really luscious neutral tones, some green, some navy, some butter yellows, even a bit of dusty light blue, and pops of red. I really have my eye on. She has a pierced bag, and I did try it on in a navy black, like the smooth leather, but now she has it in like a calfskin leopard print or cheetah print print way, and I think I'm going to do that one. Okay, it's a very simple bag, just a rounded hobo bag, flat to the body, but it's just so chic and stunning. I was looking for the one that they had a couple seasons ago, or maybe pre-fall this year. Maybe it'll still come out, but it has multiple piercings on the back, and that's something that I have my eye out for. But y'all, this to me screams like the ease, but elegance, and the structure that she's into, and just the mixture of textures that I think are really cool, that to me just kind of scream Tory Burch and what I get from the collection, what I love about her collections. And then obviously rocking the accessories from her actual brand. You would, if you're attending a show for a designer, in some way you want to pay homage to their aesthetic in some way, or show that you support their brand by wearing their actual pieces. You know what I'm saying? So I would definitely at least have some kind of accessory to highlight the fact that I do authentically enjoy this brand and parts of it or all of it, and I would do it this way. So this would be my look for Tory Burch. Okay, this is how I would pull up. Like, Tory, let me get that skirt. That's $2,000, girl. But what? You know what I'm saying? I want to go to Woodbury Commons, an outlet here in New York, a designer outlet here in New York, and I want to see if some of that stuff made it to the outlet. Because, girl, that $2,000 price tag on that skirt, girl, it made me cry. Let's get into the next look. We're going to, what's next on the list? We're going to Ralph Lauren. Okay, let's get into Ralph Lauren. I love all the Ralph Lauren brands. RL, Polo, Purple Label, all the things. I loved Blue Label when it was out. Oh my God, that to me, that particular collection was a lot of turquoise, a lot of tan suedes, a lot of luxe, a lot of things. And to me, I always felt like Ralph Lauren is that brand that is classic Americana and just takes there's a lot of Native American heritage and aesthetic in that collection too. But I love how it all comes together. Okay, we're not going to get political about these things. We're just going to talk about the fashions and the look. Okay, so anyway, this is what I would wear literally to the show. This is actually a jacket from his latest collaboration with Oak Bluffs, Martha's Vineyard, and also Spelman and Morehouse. And it is just, I was so happy I was able to get my hands on this particular jacket. I got this in a large. I love it. I love the material. And I also feel like it looks very vintage. Like it looks like my grandmother had this type of thing. The dress is actually from Kate, but I feel like this aesthetic, I love Ralph Lauren maxi dresses too. You know, even if it's for fall, like these are technically spring shows that are about to come up during September Fashion Week. They're going to showcase spring collections. However, fall collections are always my favorite. But Ralph Lauren, when I think of Ralph Lauren, I think of like a woman with beautiful hair, kind of slicked back with a high turtleneck, long sleeve, gray cashmere maxi dress, okay, with a low slung tan suede belt and a pair of like riding boots and also a tan suede and like, you know, blue lens or yellow lens, indoor frames. You know what I'm saying? Like just gold ring. Like there's just a certain aesthetic. When I think of the woman that wears Ralph Lauren, I just feel like she loves to be cozy. She knows who she is and she's very confident and she's just chilling. So I went with this long dress because I do feel like it just goes really cool and it's not expected. It's not expected. And I love how they also mix a lot of their pieces like that, how they style their pieces, how they source inspiration for their pieces as well to make it look so like worn and vintage Americana. And then also I have this tan suede bum jacket or fanny pack from Zara that has a mix of different metals. And then I have on these loafers from Tom Brown, not Ralph Lauren, yes, but I know that Ralph Lauren would have this aesthetic of shoe in their collection. But I just felt like it was such a cool little mix of things that just makes sense. To me, this screams Ralph Lauren. Oh, and the frames are Sakura Rose, the Tina style with the blue lens. And I just feel like this is it. Like I am, number one, I'm comfortable as hell. Okay. I would love to be sitting. Just like, hold on. Can you? You know it. You see it. You see it. Okay. Now, this is how I would do it. This is how I would do it for Ralph Lauren. And I think that it's a mix of everything. It's a mix of New York, the Hamptons, the Deep South, Native American heritage as well. Stolen, but it's there. I could rock turquoise with this and it would look great. Like I said, we're not going to get political about it. But anyway, yes. I really do miss Ralph Lauren Blue Label. They had all the things, a lot of Navajo print, tan suedes, corals, turquoises, just all the leathers and suedes that just are so yummy and delicious. Yeah, but anyway, this is what I would rock. I would pull up, be like, yo, Ralph, you did good on that Oak Block collaboration. Oh, boy, I like this. This is very nice, very nice. It was expensive, but very nice. But this is how I would rock it for Ralph Lauren. Now, who is next on my agenda, on my New York Fashion Week agenda, if we were actually doing it? A brand that is actually not showcasing this season, but I love so much. And I haven't been to one of their shows, but Christopher John Rogers. Okay, let's get into John Rogers. Okay, I love him. Don't pay attention to the wrinkles in this dress, darling. I did use this for a photo shoot recently, and for the sake of this video, let's just get right to it. I would literally wear Christopher John Rogers to Christopher John Rogers. I have several of his pieces. Now, I'm going to be real honest with y'all. The attention to detail and the quality of CJR is unlike any other. And it is valid in pricing, okay? That being said, I've only purchased his things when I was able to catch it on sale, secondhand, or at his beloved sample sale. Yes, and I'm so grateful. Don't get me started. I'm so grateful to have gotten my hands on these pieces. Now, I'm wearing his, this is from the trapeze. This is a trapeze top. There was like a circus collection that was stunning. And then we have these beautiful pants, these cargo pants. Now, his cargo pants are just amazing, okay? They're amazing. I love them so much. I actually got this secondhand off of someone at Manhattan Vintage Market, okay? And then I have on these Prada shoes that I also sourced from Poshmark. Yes. So this was the original design. I think this was from the 2014 collection, and they redid it for spring 2025, but I wasn't able to get my hands on them. So I found them, the real edition, for half the price. So anyway, this is what I would do. And I don't know if I would wear my hair big with this one or just slick it back and just let this be the entire statement. You know, because Christopher John Rogers is just that. Like, you don't have to say anything when you're wearing his pieces. And obviously, being a Black designer, I would only want to honor him wearing head to toe all his pieces. You know, I didn't close it in the back. But, you know, I think when I wear his pieces, I feel like exactly who I think I am. I feel fantastical and fabulous. I feel like a fairy. I do. And I think that it's magnificent. I am not a huge fan of wearing color. I am not. I wear a lot of neutrals. But when it comes to certain brands like Christopher John Rogers, who really understands the science of color and design and just the structure, like, he don't play about any part of his work. I dive all the way in with all the colors with him. I feel completely comfortable and safe wearing colors when it's done by Christopher John Rogers. I cannot say the same for a lot of other brands, to be honest. Authentically just speaking, I feel really confident wearing his colors. I really do. So, can you tell I'm in love with Christopher John Rogers? I just want everything that he designs. Everything that he designs, I want. Really, no, for real. Even the t-shirt. Like, I don't care. I don't care what it is. I want it. So, yes, this is how I would rock it. But yeah, I think with my Loewe shades and my little bunny ring, you know, because his clothes also to me are super like playful, but in a mature way, if that makes sense. It's just a lot of juxtaposition. It's a lot of something that you wouldn't expect, you know, and I adore it. And this is exactly how I would do it. I'm actually wearing this full look minus the shoes for a really exciting campaign that I'm a partner for. So yes, honoring him all around. This is how I would pull up if he ever chooses to showcase another runway and I am invited to that show. This is, maybe I would wear something else because I know my collection of CJR pieces will expand by then. But I'm just simply saying, I will pull up and head to toe Christopher John Rogers to his show. Now, can you guess who the next one is? They're actually good friends of his as well. And they're showcasing on the same day. Let's discuss Doteima and Zankov. Now, these are really good friends of Christopher John Rogers. They're amazing designers. And these are two designers that are showcasing on the same day and typically I think they've showcased the last 3 fashion weeks the same day, and they attend each other's shows too. Like they're like, because it's her and I love her, this is my best friend, I'm going to be at their show. But they have been tending to show on the same day. But what I love about these two designers is that they play so well on texture, knit, and spontaneity. And I love their collections. I went to their last shows last season. I know them. I even, whenever they have like a sample sale, they do it together too at Doteima's showroom. And I love to just see them visit, chat for a little bit. I think that they are just exquisite human beings, and they're so demure and just so creative, and they fight for what's right. You know what I'm saying? Like they are, designers with cause as well. So yes, they're showcasing on my birthday, actually September 15th. Maybe I'll go to the show. I don't know. I'm going to something that Zankov is having with Diane von Furstenberg, which is actually a brand that he designed for back in the day. And now they're doing something, which is such a cool full circle moment. But anyway, what I'm wearing a Doteima jacket shirt with this amazing, don't you just want to pet me? Don't pet me. But I know, right? It's so good. And it has like this cotton material throughout. Really amazing button detail as well. I just thought it was so cool. I actually scored this at a sample sale, their last one. And these are shorts from Zankov. This is from his spring 2025 collection, the payettes. This is actually one of my favorite pieces from the collection. And I also scored this at the sample sale too. So I got this at a really great deal. And I mean, it just screams texture, fun, playfulness. But also I love the fact that it's in colors that I typically wear. White, black, navy, gray. And then I have my knot pumps from Louis Vuitton. And these sunglasses are actually Zankov and a collaboration that he did with Salima Optique. It's a eyewear brand here in New York City, available at their store as well as Bergdorf. I think Bergdorf bought into these, which are really cool. These are, I think, the Tony frames, if I'm not mistaken. They actually had a Carolyn frame after Carolyn Kennedy. So anyway, this is what I would be wearing, especially during like September Fashion Week when it's like really muggy and hot. Even though this particular piece screams heavy texture, it's actually not. It's still lightweight, super fun, and just like able to wear with something underneath it or with nothing underneath it at all, which is right now. And then these are knit shorts. You can see that this is like a wool knit, but I actually don't know the material of this. He typically does natural fibers, but even though it's a knit short, there's like, you can see the openings in it. I don't know if you could see it here. I could see it in the mirror, but you can see it's a bit sheer. It's a sheer knit actually. So super breathable. Obviously you want to wear like a little booty short underneath it if you're not comfortable like wearing a thong and people seeing it. But this is how I would get down. And because this look is so va-va-voom, obviously like I would carry like I wouldn't carry a bag like this, but something like half the size and very quiet, something very sleek. And I will also keep my hair slicked back, super sleek, because this is a lot of noise and it's a beautiful noise. And I would maybe potentially do a red lip. Maybe. I would do a colored lip, either a red lip or something like dark and subdued, but like you can see it. It would be lined or whatever. And I'll keep the same ring because, just all the playfulness and stuff. I love this little bunny from Capucine de Wolf, I think the brand is called. But yeah, this is the vibe I would carry up into Doteima and Zankov. And the reason why I blended the two shows is because literally they show on the same day. So just being realistic, you're running from one show to the other. You want to support and honor both of the designers the same day. This is how you do it. And Christopher's, Doteima, and Zankov, all their pieces come together in some way. It's so wild to me how you can blend a lot of their pieces and create such amazing looks and feel so authentically yourself in them too. I feel like even though, these designs are produced in a way that they're at different department stores and different online outlets like Net-a-Porter or Shop McMullen in Oakland. I do feel like their pieces, when you get them, they seem so unique to the person wearing them. Even though it's like a mass-produced thing, not mass-produced, but you know what I'm saying. Anybody wearing their pieces all look super unique and individual, as if it was made for them and they're the only ones that have those pieces. That's how these three designers to me just scream with their work. And I love that. It's a very unique perspective of design. And I love living in these art pieces. Now, for our final show, I've never been to this designer show before, but I love the vibe of it. I think it's fun. I have one of her pieces, but let's get into the last show that I would wear an outfit to honor blah, 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 blah. Next. And for the final look, let's talk about La Pointe. I love La Pointe. I think it's very much one of those brands to me that she plays with the same silhouettes and gives them different texture and colors, and then she'll adjust things, but she makes it so much fun. Especially, listen, I'm a lover of texture, okay? Because of the fact that I am more prone to wearing less color, texture to me it gives so much character to a piece, right? So there's a lot of sequins, there's a lot of sheer silks, there's a lot of feathers, okay? Ostrich feathers. And I love that playfulness about Sally La Pointe. I'm excited to see what she is going to do this season coming up for her spring collection. But I got this a couple moons ago on Forward. These are her pants, and I absolutely adore these pants. They're so special to me. I wear them probably every February Fashion Week since I've had them because I just feel like they're so much fun, and they're great to wear also during the winter. They are not that heavy, but to me, there's an extra layer underneath there that is safe to wear during the colder months, and I just feel like with the feathers and like a beautiful white coat, it always just looks so amazing and well put together with whatever I'm putting on. But for the warmer month of September, where we outside for Fashion Week, if I were attending the show, this is exactly how I would pare it down. I would wear it with this banded tee that has so many holes in it. It's super oversized, and I just cinched it up in the back and made it a crop top. And I also threw this is actually not the armhole. The armhole is here. There's a big ass hole in this shirt, and I always put my arm through this one and like zhuzh it up so this piece is just bunching up over my shoulder, and then I would take the other side off of the shoulder. I would rock whatever jewelry, all my jewelry, because I feel like it may not be intentional, but to me it's very Sally La Pointe to me as a consumer, and how I would style it for my own life. It's very rock and roll. It is very glamour, rock and roll, New York City. I don't care what you think about me. I am that girl. It's very that to me. And then I would rock it with this Marni bag. This is actually a crossbody bag, but I roll up the strap in a way where it locks in to create like this little handbag, little top handle moment. And this is how I would do it. And I also have these Saint Laurent pumps. And the reason why I chose this particular color for this look is because it's just like a continuous kind of vibe. And because this is such a show-stopping moment and statement within the outfit, I just want to keep it there and either make it longer or, just have it. I would also do like a naked shoe, like it would just be my toes, like it would look like I'm not wearing a shoe kind of thing, just because this is such a statement. And then something I feel like it is a little bit unexpected. I do think that a lot of times when people do attend the La Pointe show, they wear a full set of it, which I think is cool. I would too. I would definitely do that another time or whatever. But I also feel like it really brings the pieces out even more when you're wearing it with something a little bit more unexpected, like a regular, just a band t-shirt that I got from a site. I think I got this from By Namesake or Dylan Lex. One of those brands had this shirt, and I got this off of them. And then my sunglasses are from a brand called Crass. This is actually the menswear buyer for Hirschleifers. This is his brand. Hey, boo. So I would wear these shades, which are inspired from an old TV set. But yeah, this is the energy I would go for a La Pointe show. If we had the time, if we were invited, if we had that connection and relationship to the actual brand, these are the things that I would wear. Like I said, when you're going to Fashion Week and you're, going to these shows, especially if you're not like, let's say, an editor or a buyer of these things, right? That you Let me just zoom in a little bit. Just to wrap up, like I was saying, if I were a buyer or an editor, and I was going to multiple shows per day, not just like one in the morning, one in the afternoon, like a lot of content creators and celebrities do, I would keep it super simple. My go-to editor buyer look would literally just be white button down, jeans and a loafer, because girl, we don't have time. We're running from show to show. No, obviously I might jazz it up a little bit here and there, but like I would keep it super sleek and simple just to have ease throughout all the shows. And at the end of the day, it's like the buyers at these shows, to me, are the most important people besides the celebs or the people who are able to put on anything and make a huge demographic, a wide demographic of people buy into those pieces, right? They're very valuable, but also the buyers are super valuable. And the people that basically say, what am I buying from this collection to get you money, brand? I'm going to be buying this from you. You're going to be fulfilling an order, and I get to choose what's on the floor, what's on these websites, based on my expertise and how valuable I see you and how I think your collection would actually sell at my store, and that person, they don't need to impress nobody. They have an open to buy that is lethal to every brand. So I feel like if I was in that position again, I would keep it easy. It would be a fabulous coat maybe over top of everything, and a good old fabulous shoe, that's comfortable, and a fabulous bag to keep my notebook and everything in. But girl, like, I'm not going crazy getting dressed up in different looks for every show if I'm a buyer or an editor. All day shows, we don't have time for this. We're just going to look fabulous from the start to the end and comfortable all throughout. But as a content creator, if I was invited to several of these shows throughout the day, and if I had time to change in between, and I really want to honor every brand, because I would admire, I would only go if I really admire and know the brand or want to learn about the brand, and I would want to support and, wear something of theirs. So even if they're not dressed, like, I would rather me dress myself. That's another thing about me. I am not really big on getting dressed or wanting to get dressed by a brand. I think it's cool when it happens. But for me, I'm like, I really want to go to the show because I already have your pieces and I love your collection to begin with. I don't want it to be like, I know nothing about your brand. You invited me, I'm going, and you're dressing me, and I wouldn't even own this naturally. You know what I mean? So that's how I personally would go about it. No shade to anyone else's experience. I'm just being honest. It's just like how I would want to do it because of the experiences and things that I have had and what I would be most comfortable doing authentically, So, yeah, y'all, let me know if you like this episode and if you want me to do, what would be next, London Fashion Week or Milan Fashion Week? Let me know if you want me to do this again for another show that's coming up or show season that's coming up in a different country, and we'll go off of those brands that will be showing there. But anyway, thank you so much for tuning in and sticking with me throughout this episode. Let me know what you think, and I'll see y'all in the next episode. Stay cool, stay you. Bye, cookies.